Hey everybody, this is Greenfeet Medical's Medic Minute with Ben. Today we're going to go over wound packing. Now, it is often taught to simply fill the hole with gauze until the bleeding stops. That is not the best method. I refer to this as panic packing. And let me tell you from personal experience, it doesn't really work for arterial hemorrhage. The key to good wound packing is methodical, consistent, and direct pressure on the vessel or affected vessels in order to form a clot. Think of a hose that's turned on. If I wanted to patch this hose and it had a leak somewhere, and I put direct pressure but wasn't consistent, it would simply push the patch off. Now think of an artery inside a wound. If I put the gauze and trying to form a clot, and I have direct pressure but it's not consistent, it's going to push that gauze out of the way and continue to bleed and not form a clot. So, with all that being said, let's do a quick demonstration. First thing you're going to want to do is expose the wound. Once you've exposed the wound, go ahead and locate the source of the bleeding. I like to visually look and feel for the source of the bleeding. Once I've found the source of the bleeding with my finger, you'll notice I'm hooking, not poking my finger straight in, a lot more strength here. I'm using my index fingers or a longer finger more than your thumb to actually find this. Once I've got it, I'm going to prepare my gauze. I'm going to do so by creating what we call a power ball by just simply wadding up some gauze. And then I'm going to push this over my finger and replace it directly onto that vessel. All right. The key here, like I said, is direct and consistent pressure. You're going to build up what we call a cork. So I'm pushing and replacing directly onto that vessel, holding good, consistent pressure until I've built up a good little cork. And now, after I've built up this cork, all I'm going to do is simply fill the void space so my cork doesn't fall out of place from the artery bleeding. And to do that, you're going to try to fill underneath, left, right, you name it. Just fill all void space to keep that pressure directly on the artery and keep building that cork and void space up until you've packed about 1 to 2 inches out of the wound. Alright, once you have your mound built out, it's a nice convex mound, it's a good place for you to apply pressure with your hands. As such, you're going to hold good consistent pressure, 3 minutes for hemostatic gauze, and I like to do 5 minutes for standard Kerlix gauze. Alright, that was an abbreviated wound packing 101 video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. And remember, if you're trying to show some support, go to my website at greenfeetmedical.com and subscribe to the email list.